after college?
This was after college. I dropped out. I was like, all right, well, I have to make money. So the fastest way to make money was the club. Um,
Did somebody bring you in, or you just?
I actually looked on Craigslist, and there was an ad on Craigslist where they were looking for dancers, go-go dancers. And I was like, what's this? And I went in for the audition and got the job. Not that it was a really like take that with a grain of salt. Like it was just like walk in, you're hired.
Yeah.
And I went in and you just were dancing on stage, and I was just like, all right, like this is easy enough, and guys threw money at you.
Was it dancing? There's different kinds of clubs. So was this like the white people club, or was
Oh
it
no,
like
this was like, no offense, but this was like a Mexican spot in Corona, like hole in the wall, like
I'm
Okay.
offended.
Go-go
I'm offended.
spot.
That's it.
No, this dude.
the clientele was typically Mexican. And it was just like this hole in the wall, like literally in the middle of the hood. But it wasn't topless or anything. It was just go-go. And like you'd go on stage and you'd dance, and like guys come in, get drunk, and throw money at you. It's a good gig.
I actually have a question about that here somewhere. But basically, my question was like, being in the nightlife, did that jade you towards men? Did you learn a lot about the nature of men and how they are? Like, how was that for you, that process? Like, because in the nightlife, it's very eye-opening for someone who may not really know like the nature of men, and men could be very aggressive. Some men are really simpy. Some other, you know what I'm saying? Like, what did you learn from that experience?
So I was in nightlife in two different points of my life. I was in nightlife when I was 18, 19, so I was just like a kid. And then I was in nightlife recently as an adult. So I feel like as a kid, I didn't really know what I was doing. I just kind of had my youth. I was really young. I needed to make money. I was hungry. I went, made money. I didn't really understand what I was doing. I didn't understand like things that could go wrong in the industry. I got really lucky. I didn't have any scary experiences as a kid. But I feel like as an adult, I got to learning that, like, how can I say this? I kind of learned a lot of things, but in terms of men, I mean, the type of guys that go to the club are simps. Let's just be honest with you.
100%.
Like, you're taking your money. A lot of guys will take all the money that they have just to throw it in the club. Like, if there's nothing more simpy than that. I'm sorry to say it, like, and
No, don't be sorry. Talk to
I've
me. Let them know.
like I've marketed like, so, I've profited so much from these simps, and it's like, and I hate the word because it's like, I don't want to
Categorize them.
I don't want to villainize them. They put money in my pocket, at one point in my life. You know what I'm saying? Like, do you, if you enjoy that, fine, but it is what it is. Like, that you're not, and granted, you're not going to find your husband in the club. Like, that's just, and it's weird for a woman because I feel like a lot of women of today are like not living intentionally. They just kind of are like, well, I need to make money. I'm a hot girl, so I'm going to work in the club. And then they, working in the club, they receive all of this attention. Like, you get all of this attention that you wouldn't otherwise get, like, on the street, like as a normal civilian. Like, you literally just, all these guys are at you. And then it's very easy to believe that these guys are actually into you. Like, they actually want to date you. They want to be with you. They want to change your life. And
yeah, women tend to confuse sexual attraction for actual relationship attraction. All these guys want to have sex with them, not
Right.
necessarily, maybe because they are simpy,
right.
but most men just want to have sex with these women and not necessarily like wife them up.
Exactly. Like, they're not, I don't think there's any guy on earth that says, we're going to go to the club today because I want to go find my wife there. Like, no. Like, you're going to the club because you want to fuck.
Well, there are cucks out there that may, take an Uber to that club to try to find wifey.
I don't know. I don't think it's impossible, but I just don't think that that's the majority. Like, that's not an average experience. Like, I wouldn't go to the club to go and vet my future husband or wife. Like, it's just at both ways. Like, I wouldn't, me personally, it'll be hard for me to take a guy seriously that I met at the club, where you came to the club because you just wanted to see a bunch of ass and possibly like find an easy girl to fuck, you know, like.
Would you respect a man who they go to the club often? Or do you find, is there anything respectable about men like that in your opinion? How would you? Because a lot of women do think that, they can go to the club and find this guy who may. Basically, what I'm saying is that how women, in my opinion, how I think they think is they go to, like, let's say not even a strip club, they just go to a random club, right? And in a woman's mind, they may think, let me just be here, stand here, look cute. There's gonna be a guy that's gonna walk up to me, hand me $1,000, and treat me like a queen, and I'm going to magically just be,
There's women that really believe that. It's very sad. It's a very sad and very jaded, like, mentality to live by. It's I don't think they have the self-awareness, to realize that that's just not realistic. Like, you may get lucky and one night you go out, you look good, a guy hands you some cash, then what?
And then now you got to make a decision. Are you gonna go with him, or are you gonna?
I mean, no, there's guys that give you, like, there's not to say, like, if a guy gives you cash that you have to go have sex. There are guys that, like, will just hand you cash.
I know
it does exist.
Yeah, I mean, I've done that where I've seen a beautiful woman,
Mm-hmm.
and she's a waitress or something like that. She's not even my waitress, and I just, like,
You'll tip her.
I'll tip her just
Yeah.
because, hey, you're beautiful. Let me just keep it
Right.
moving, and not even ask for nothing.
Right.
And that's weird. You know what I mean? Like, I shouldn't do that. Like, why is she entitled to, whatever?
I mean, it's not that she's entitled. I mean, you gave it
Yeah,
to
I
her,
mean,
right?
yeah,
You didn't
yeah.
ask for it.
Yeah,
But
exactly. Right, yeah.
but back to your question, do I respect men that go to the club? Yeah. I mean, it's not that I would disrespect that. Like, I don't not respect them because they go to the club. I feel like the way I respect men, like how I would respect a man, is based on his selectiveness towards women. If he's a type of man that sleeps around, I just simply won't. I won't respect him. If he's a man that would give in to any woman, like, woman slides in, if I'm dealing with a guy and woman slides in his DM and he's entertaining her, like, I'm gonna lose respect for you. Like, I don't respect that. I respect the guy that says no to pussy. Like, you could say no to pussy because you're reserving yourself for me, for some, like, that, like, the very thing that you need, like, because I mean, let's be honest, men need sex. Like, it is what it is. Like, you guys need to fuck, and you guys have sex differently, like, it's not the same as how a woman would have sex. You guys could go get 100 bodies and it's fine. Like, if I get 100 bodies, like,
Red flag.
yeah, red flag, like,